superstar. I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball, college or pro. She is a superstar. I had the pleasure of doing an event with her on campus at Iowa a few months ago. I went there for my man Mark Shapiro, and I had a blast. She and I were on a panel together. She's a wonderful, wonderful young lady, incredibly poised. But this woman is the nation's leading scorer, averaging 31.5 points per game, shooting 40% from threes. She's hitting at least 5 3-pointers per game.
Social media erupted. Hashtags trended worldwide. Videos of failed purchases went viral. Fashion magazines weighed in. The shirt crossed over from sports merch to cultural currency. High schoolers traded them for gaming consoles, concert tickets, even cars. The Caitlin Clark tee became a badge, a signal, undeniable proof that women's basketball wasn't just growing. It had already arrived.
Caitlin Clark, amazing, logo threes and buzzer beaters. Now, Caitlin Clark has been the talk of the town for the past, really this whole year, but really just heavy in the past 2 months, just because, she's the best female college player of all time that's coming out of college type shit. Even though they lost in the championship, they are still just showing this girl's face. No hate, no love. I really like her game. I haven't seen too much of it. I've seen little clips and stuff, but I really have.
This is the kind of story that sounds exaggerated until you realize every detail actually happened. One of the largest athletic brands on the planet, a company built to handle global launches, billion-dollar sneaker drops, and Super Bowl-level traffic, was brought to its knees in under 60 seconds. Not by controversy, not by a failed ad campaign, not by a celebrity scandal, but by a simple white t-shirt priced at $40. Picture the moment. It's just past midnight. No warning signs. No internal panic. Nike systems are operating as they always do, built to withstand enormous demand. Then suddenly traffic explodes. Servers spike beyond anything engineers anticipated. Pages stop loading. Checkout buttons freeze. In less than a minute, Nike's global network collapses under the weight of pure fan demand. Demand centered around a single WNBA player. This wasn't supposed to happen. That's the key detail everyone misses. Nike didn't underestimate demand slightly. They fundamentally misunderstood the scale of women's basketball's commercial power. Their systems weren't overloaded because of hype manufacturing or artificial scarcity. They crashed because millions of real people all at once try to buy the same product. What makes this even more shocking is context. Nike's infrastructure regularly handles sneaker launches tied to global icons, LeBron, Jordan retros, Travis Scott collaborations. Billions in annual revenue flow through these systems without blinking. Yet a $40 Caitlin Clark t-shirt triggered a domino effect estimated to touch nearly $500 million in lost, delayed, and redirected economic activity. This wasn't just a technical failure. It was a strategic blindside. Nike had built projections based on outdated assumptions that women's basketball merchandise would grow slowly, predictably, safely. Instead, what they encountered was a cultural surge that behaved more like a once-in-a-generation moment. Fans weren't casually browsing. They were locked in, waiting, refreshing, ready. And when the floodgates opened, everything broke. What unfolded in those 60 seconds exposed a deeper truth Nike wasn't prepared to face. They hadn't miscalculated a product launch. They had misread an entire movement. The crash wasn't just digital. It was symbolic, a signal that the market had moved faster than the people supposed to be leading it.
Y'all, wait till this girl gets to the WNBA. She is something special. Make no mistake about it. And I really, really, really am rooting for her. I really want to see her, again, have another shot at a national championship. She's my favorite player in women's basketball.
This wasn't just America. Europe woke up to broken websites. Asia saw identical crashes. In Japan, fans physically lined up outside stores in Tokyo, hoping brick-and-mortar inventory might exist somewhere. In China, resale platforms exploded. Listings appeared instantly, $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000 for a single shirt. The hunger was global, and Nike had missed all of it.
Around greatness can have nothing to do with the conversation around being a cultural phenomenon. And now there is no debate that Caitlin Clark has become exactly that. Think about it. The Nike historic shoe deal she just signed, she signed because companies like to make money. And they know they will make money Because when Caitlin Clark walks into a coffee shop in the middle of nowhere, people recognize her. Because when you are on Saturday Night Live and every news and entertainment network along the way, not just sports networks, you've risen above the conversation about your play and you've become a cult.
Within 60 seconds, over 10 million users attempted to access Nike's site simultaneously. The load was unprecedented. Pages froze. Payment systems stalled. Before the blackout, Nike managed to process roughly 500,000 orders. And then everything went dark. Millions were locked out. Screenshots flooded social media. Error messages became memes. Fans refreshed endlessly, watching hope evaporate in real time. And the realization hit. A WNBA player with just 2 professional seasons had generated demand rivaling the biggest names in sports history. That wasn't marketing hype. That was reality colliding with corporate miscalculation.
And watch an Iowa game when she was playing, or just sit there and like watch her full highlight clips, just whatever like great shot she shoots or whatever play she makes that's big, it goes on Twitter or TikTok, whatever. I've seen it. But I want to give respect due to this, to her, because again, what she's doing is amazing. Like you ain't never seen no female do what she be doing, or no woman. So in that standpoint, I just want to show love and just see, what's going on, like see what type of shots and like just the craftiness of the
To understand why this moment detonated the way it did, you have to rewind nearly 18 months. That's how long fans had been waiting. Beg early. Social media comments stacked up daily asking the same question. Where is the Caitlin Clark merchandise? This wasn't an unknown athlete. Clark wasn't some niche prospect Nike was cautiously testing. She was already being compared to Steph Curry, not casually, but stylistically and statistically. Night after night, she was pulling up from deep, warping defenses, leading the nation in scoring, and dragging women's basketball into mainstream conversation. And yet, somehow, Nike did nothing. That silence became fuel. Every viral highlight increased the pressure. Every sold-out arena added to the demand. Fans didn't forget. They waited, and waiting turned into frustration. The irony is brutal. This is the same corporation capable of designing, producing, marketing, and distributing entire sneaker lines in under a year. They can coordinate global launches involving dozens of factories, celebrity rollouts, and limited releases with military precision. But when it came to Clark, a player reshaping the sport in real time, the pipeline stalled. Inside Nike, the delay was likely framed as caution, market testing, timing, risk management. But outside Nike, it felt like neglect. Fans interpreted the silence as disrespect, not just toward Clark, but toward women's basketball as a whole. By the time the shirt was finally ready, demand wasn't normal anymore. It was compressed. 18 months of anticipation collapsed into a single moment. All that energy had nowhere to go until it exploded. This wasn't a product launch. It was a release valve.
The argument right now that Caitlin Clark has become the Taylor Swift for all of women's sports. She's easily recognizable in everything she does, and it's turning new generations of fans to her. It's bringing new generations of women and men to sports that maybe they weren't covering before. It's getting a level of interest that is far beyond the game that's being played. We can continue to debate the career process for Caitlin Clark and what's going to happen. But what this shoe deal proves to all of us and reminds all of us is that there are sometimes some people are larger than any one particular game that they play. Caitlin Clark has accomplished.
When the Minimalist C logo finally dropped that September night, Nike thought they were prepared. The pricing was clean. $40 for adults, $35 for kids. Accessible, safe, reasonable. They stocked 2 million units, believing that would comfortably cover demand. That assumption didn't survive the first few seconds. What Nike expected to be a routine rollout instantly transformed into global chaos. The shirt wasn't flashy. No wild colors. No heavy branding. Just a clean design tied to a player people felt emotionally connected to. That connection mattered more than hype ever could. Fans weren't buying fabric. They were buying validation. Proof that women's basketball had arrived. Proof that Caitlin Clark mattered on the same commercial level as any superstar. And 2 million units? That number turned out to be laughably small.
Is going to be a monster. It is going to be the most popular and the most important shoe that Nike has released, definitely since the LeBron shoe, and maybe even dating all the way back to the Jordan shoe. And in terms of sales, it is going to be off the charts. And just listening to Caitlin talk about the features that this shoe is going to have, it is going to be next level in terms of the evolution.
Resellers move fast. Shirts flipped at 250% markups and beyond. One seller reportedly cleared $50,000 from the single drop. Nike left millions on the table. Wall Street noticed. Nike stock jumped 8% the next morning, not because of revenue, but because investors saw something bigger. Proof of untapped power. This wasn't apparel. This was economics.